Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and I am here today in the beautiful city of Reims, with Jamie Weedham. And, well, what do you do? Why am I here?
I work for a company called Military Historical Tours. I started doing this about 20-some years ago. 25 years ago was my first tour, actually here, but I didn't really start working full-time for the company until about 15 years ago.
All right, and we are out here on a week-long tour of American battlefields in France for World War I. In fact, today we were out looking at elements of the Meuse-Argonne campaign, and it was really freaking cool. So, yeah, so you guys do a lot more than just that. You do tours in Europe, and you also do tours like all over the world, right?
We do. As a matter of fact, for the last 10 years, I've been specializing primarily with Korea and the Korean War Veterans Revisit Korea program through the Korean War Veterans Association of America and sponsored by the Korean government. The South Korean government pays for veterans and their families of South Korea War who defended the Korean Peninsula from 1950 through 1954 from communists. They invite them over, they pay for everything in country, all meals, rooms, tours, accommodations, and subsidize 50% of their airfare and 30% of the airfare for their companion as a thank you for saving their country from communism. So that's one of our programs.
That's really cool. I had no idea that that was a thing.
It's pretty amazing.
So I suspect a lot of other people don't know that's a thing either.
That's the biggest problem we have, is that people just don't know that program exists, and it's very difficult to tell them, and if they do find out and read about it, they honestly don't believe it unless they hear it from another veteran.
Okay. Now, you don't just do military tours. I don't have any actual military service myself,
Correct.
And yet here I am.
Correct. As a misnomer, we are military historical tours. However, we focus on events, historical and militarily, that happened all around the world. We go to Guam, Saipan, Tinian. We're the only tour company in the world that takes folks to Iwo Jima through the Iwo Jima Association of America.
Huh.
And
I would have assumed that'd be a fairly popular thing. There'd be a lot of people doing that.
It's very popular, actually. But as far as the Korea program, that one's a little more difficult and more obscure to get the word out and for people to even understand.
Okay. And then you also do a bunch of tours here in Europe.
That's correct.
You should step this way because you're kind of wandering off camera. There you go.
Oh,
So we're here on the World War I tour, and specifically American. So this is kind of, we have a whole bunch of Marines on this tour who are all oorah to see Belleau Wood.
We are, but we also have families of veterans, families of men who fell here, who were killed here, and who were buried here.
Okay.
And we visited their grave sites today.
So give us just like a brief rundown of what does a typical tour entail? I mean, you've got this stuff posted on your website, but I mean, what am I going to see if I come over here for a tour?
You're going to see memorials of American Battlefield Monuments Commission memorials. You're going to see cemeteries, and most importantly, you're going to see the battlefields where it happened, and you're going to have historians take you back to the day where it happened by explaining to you exactly what happened, who was there, where they were from, and what transpired.
Okay. In fact, on the tour that we're doing right now, we have you with us as a coordinator. We also have a dedicated tour historian.
That's correct.
Who, I don't remember his exact curriculum vitae, but he was like historical officer for several major elements of the U.S. military.
That's true.
That guy knows his facts. It's like down.
Right.
And then you also have a native fluent French speaker as a translator traveling with us. She's awesome. And you have James, who's kind of acting as overall tour guide.
James White is a great guy. He comes to us by way of Colonel Bill White, who is the former editor-in-chief of the Leatherneck magazine and one of the most prominent World War I battlefield historians. It's one thing to be a historian. It's another thing to be a battlefield historian, and be able to stand in a field and make sense out of and interest someone with the story of what transpired.
There really is a lot that you have to... a lot of these World War I battlefields kind of just look like farm fields, because they kind of were just farm fields.
They're beautiful, arable farm fields today, but yesterday they were, 100 years ago, they were killing fields.
Yeah, and you really learn an unbelievable amount about the actual battles by being there and seeing where they took place. And I have no doubt it's the same on the Pacific Islands, in Korea, all of these places. you can read all you want, but you don't truly understand what's going on until you see the place with your own eyes.
It's absolutely true. And in the case of the veterans, with Korea and with Vietnam, the war sometimes isn't over until they come back and they see for themselves that the war is over. One of the most gratifying phone calls that I receive, maybe 2 or 3 a year, is from a Korean War veteran who calls me back after a trip and tells me he slept the first good night of sleep in 60-some years since the war, because it's now over, because he visited and he's able to actually sleep at night.
Wow, geez. That's quite a thing.
Yeah, and obviously there's no World War I veterans left, but still, this is one of the most popular trips we do. So it's not just for veterans; it's for anybody who's a fan of history and who wants to know what went on.
World War I largely shaped, I would say, shaped the entire world as we know it today. The Middle East was shaped by World War I. The Cold War was shaped by World War I, and the Second World War was a direct consequence of the First World War.
Absolutely.
So if people want to know more about how to find one of these awesome tours, how do they find you?
Well, they could start with our website at www.miltours.com or Google Military Historical Tours, and it's probably the best place to start on the interwebs.
All right.
To find us.
We've got itineraries and all that sort of stuff.
Itineraries are posted for all of our different tours. We have probably 6 different itineraries in Vietnam every year. We go to the South Pacific 2 or 3 times a year, Guadalcanal, Wake Island, Midway Island. We're trying to get back to those places. But yes, we have all of our itineraries and everything posted on our website.
All right. Well, we've got a link to that in the description below. So you'll be seeing some videos from me from this tour, some of the really cool stuff that we got to see. And if you'd like to experience that yourself, I think these guys are a great way to do it. So
thanks. Appreciate the endorsement.
Oh, you bet. I've been having a great time.
Excellent.
Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching today. Have a good evening.